All right, welcome back. Taxing America, that's exactly what Joe Biden is going to do, even though he whispers in real close and says it's not going to happen. But sorry, losers, fellow losers like myself, get prepared to be left holding the bag. The ultra-wealthy already have an escape hatch for Biden's tax hikes. It's a strategy called private placement life insurance, which is a loophole that one policy expert told Bloomberg is entirely legal, easy to exploit, and politically very hard to close. That's a law professor from the University of Chicago saying this, quote, private placement life insurance poses a serious obstacle to President Biden's goal of guaranteeing that high-income individuals pay tax on large gains at least once per lifetime. PPLI is a massive loophole, entirely legal, easy to exploit, and again, politically very hard to close. Let's welcome in now Senior Director at Harbor Life Brokerage, Heather Zumarraga. Also back with us, business and market analyst Seth Denson. All right, so I'm not going to pretend like I know what this stuff is. I was talking to Seth about it last week. It's kind of obscure, and I guess you got to have a lot of cash to get involved in this game. But the point here is, Heather, that billionaires always have an escape plan. They always have financial planners and lawyers and accountants that get them out of trouble. So there's no way this isn't going to trickle down to the little guy. They're going to be paying for this long term, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, there are always loopholes. I worked in the insurance industry for a little while. I actually worked with Seth on a few potential projects. So we both are fully aware of this private placement life insurance. And basically, you can only access it if you have a few $1 million. You have to be what's called an accredited investor, and it allows you to escape paying taxes. You don't pay tax on the gains. You can access it during your lifetime, and you don't pay tax. Your heirs don't pay tax when you pass away, when you die. And so there are loopholes, which is a good point. And at the end of the day, it is similar to something called a universal life insurance policy, but it's not the exact same, which means people like you and I are investing in 401k and our IRA or retirement plans. You know, we can't take that out without being potentially taxed and having that 10% penalty before we turn 59 and a half. And I know you're not there yet, John.
Not yet. I got a little way to go. But, you know, Seth, I've got all this Dogecoin and Bitcoin that I've been, no, kidding. Of course, I don't have that stuff. But, you know, why is it that these loopholes only seem to exist for the ultra wealthy, not for folks like myself?
Sure, because so let's talk about what a lot of times these investments and these private placements, they're going into hedge funds. They're going into maybe some riskier investments. So it's not that there's not a law against this going down to maybe the common man that wants to put $100,000 or $5,000 into something. It's that there's no insurance company that's going to back it and allow that volatility to apply. So we see this at about $1 million, as Heather said, credited investors are those that are going to have access to it. But really it starts for about $5 million when we start to see it. The fees are exponential. So there's some big fees on this to do it. But to Heather's point, the benefit, this is how you hear about guys like Elon Musk and some of these guys that don't pay any income taxes. You can take loans against that money. So let's say you make an investment, you double your investment. That stays in the life insurance policy. So it's not taxed. You can take a loan for your livelihood to pay for all of your expenses. That's not taxed. And then when you die, guess what? Your heirs don't pay taxes because it's a death benefit.
So it doesn't matter what they do, what kind of ways they make to pay your fair share. They're going to get out of it, aren't they, Heather?
Yeah, I just heard moments ago, we heard the White House Live conference, Biden on his social spending plan, $1.75 trillion is the price tag right now, but it doesn't really matter. He kept saying, pay your fair share. They're going to pay their fair share, but there are many loopholes. Look at Amazon. They paid nearly zero federal income tax for many years, and even Republicans were saying, wait a minute, you know, Trump was saying they need to even increase, we need to increase taxes. That's why you see the corporate minimum tax, 15% being proposed right now. But Elon Musk, he just tweeted out recently, which is a good point that Seth made, eventually they run out of other people's money and they come for you. And this is coming from the world's richest man. So maybe he's a Republican now, Elon Musk, I'm not sure. But yes, it's not just the billionaires who will be paying, it's the middle class as well.
Yeah, the 15%.
He's a Texan, Heather. He's a Texan now.
What? Yeah.
He's a Texan
That's
now.
right. Well, the 15% minimum tax, that almost sounds like these mandatory minimum sentences that they had that didn't work out very well in the criminal justice department either. And I wanted to get your reaction to that. I mean, won't companies just take their money elsewhere and put it offshore?
Yeah, great point. And I know that the Biden administration is saying, well, we're getting these other countries to have their minimum tax globally. Guess what? There'll be loopholes in those countries. Those countries want our dollars. And if they're willing to take those dollars, they'll find a way where people won't have to pay taxes on those dollars. There's always an accountant and an attorney out there willing to find that loophole for you.
I know. I should have been an attorney. Anyway, we also got a report today, Heather, that GDP growth just at 2% annually right now, slowing way down. Are you concerned about that?
I think that word stagflation is coming back to haunt us, right? If you were alive during the 70s, you remember waiting in those long gas lines. You have an economic slowdown, GDP at 2%. We're printing all of this money, stock market reaching all-time highs almost every day. The Dow, again, right now, almost near another all-time high. And so when the economy is slowing down and you have 11 million job openings, but millions are looking for work, so something funny is going on. And yet you have prices, which we so often talk about, inflating, rising across the board at rapid levels. Shelves in the stores are empty. That becomes a major problem, not just for Wall Street, but for everyday Americans.
And Seth, I know you're predicting a massive recession this spring. Is this an indicator of what's to come?
I don't know that I said that, John. But listen, listen, don't pigeonhole me there, brother. No, but listen, I don't think we see a massive recession coming anytime soon. But I do think that we are likely to see more of a. I don't want to go that we're going to go so much into stagflation. But Heather's right. If the economy doesn't turn on and all this money's out there, inflation's going to continue. We've got to get the economy working. The American worker is the lifeblood of that. Get them back to work, and we can get this thing rolling again. But if not, maybe definitely a downturn, but I don't know that I'm quite in the recession.
Okay, maybe I put too much sauce on it there. I apologize for that. I don't want to hype it up more than. But I heard somebody say this today too. They called this the Great Resignation. Kind of what we're seeing right now. So many people out of work, choosing not to work. We have these vaccine mandates. It's going to force people off of the job, not fired, so they're not collecting unemployment insurance, but they're also not getting paid. We could see some real problems, and 2% might look rosy come next quarter.
Right now.
Great to see you guys. Seth and Heather, always enjoyable,
John.
even though a little dark conversation today, but we're going to prepare. Always talk to your own personal certified financial planner or your financial expert. Great to see you both. Thanks so much.
Thanks, John.